Good morning, everybody. Mike, all right? As it's International Stammering Awareness Day, I just thought I'd do a video in highlighting what stammering is and how it affects those who suffer with a stammer on a daily basis. So what stammering is, it's a condition where the person struggles to get the words out. That could be overtly, where you can clearly see that they have a stammer, where they would have rapid eye movements, head shakes, really struggling to force the words out. Then you've got the covert type of stammerer who switches words around to those that they can say. So we are always analysing words before we say them. So I was overt when I was a kid. I've had a stammer since I was 3 years old. Shall not go into the reason why I have a stammer, but I attended conventional speech therapy from the ages of 3 up to 12 years old, which helped. It helped me slow down, pronounce my syllables, and gave me an hour off school every week. So yeah, it was good. So then, other therapy wise, I went to see a guy called Stephen Campbell in my early 20s, who taught me to place a H in front of every word, which wasn't really sustainable. So 800 pounds lighter there on a technique that didn't work for me. Then in my late 20s, I found the Starfish Project. A guy at work called Mark Murphy had written an article in our newspaper at Sellafield called Energize, and he wrote an article to the editor about how he'd been on this course and it had helped him. So I thought, I'll have a bit of that. So I went on my first Starfish course back in 2008, I think it was 2009. So it's a 3-day, 4-day residential course which teaches you the technique of the costal breath, which is all about breathing from the diaphragm and into the chest. They also teach you numerous other techniques as well, which help to desensitize your speech. So since my Starfish course, I haven't looked back. Yeah, just been growing from strength to strength, really. Putting myself into situations where I wouldn't normally put myself, doing things that I'm scared of. It's all about expanding your comfort zone, etc. Because nobody grows within their comfort zone. So what is it like struggling with a stammer on a daily basis? I shall just give you a few examples which I've experienced. So you have to fill your car up with petrol, and the only pump you can say is number 2, for example. So all the other pumps in the petrol station could be free, but as you can only say number 2, you have to wait till the person comes off number 2 pump to go onto it. So that's one example. Another example, you're out with your friends on a night out and you really fancy a pint of Stella or something like that, and you know that you're not going to be able to say Stella, so you end up with a bottle of blue WKD or something. Or if you go into McDonald's and you really want the Big Mac and you come out with a fish sandwich, just stupid things like that. But for a stammerer, the hardest thing for them to say is their name. Now, previously, places where I've worked, I've called myself by my middle name, which is Ashley. So some people on my Facebook know me as Ash or Ashley. When I've had to answer the phone and say my name, I always say M Wright, as it's so much easier to say M rather than Michael Wright. What other situations are they? Like you get on a bus, you can't say the stop that you want to get off at, so you have to say the 2 stops before your stop. And if it's hammering down with the rain, that's not so good. Making appointments, ringing up the doctors, the dentist, barbers, well, not so much these days, but in the early days when I had hair, that was always a struggle. So you ring up and the person on the other end of the phone is saying, sorry, the line's bad. No, the line isn't bad, I'm just stammering. So they end up putting the phone down on you. Yeah, that was always a hard one for me to accept. I would always get my brother to come into the opticians with me to get my contact lenses, for him to say my name and address. So my family have helped me a lot. My mum and dad, they had found everything to help me. Brother, he was a bit of a swine. He calls me Stammering Stanley, but I can take a joke because I give jokes. So if you can't take it, you shouldn't give it. But I'm the first one to take the mick out of my own stammer. So yeah. So now, since my Starfish course, we have set up a Facebook group called Stand Up to Stammering. Myself and Chloe Powell have done that. We set daily challenges for those who stammer. It's all about pushing them out of their comfort zone, getting them to do these challenges, which in turn helps them to become better speakers. We also run a Zoom group as well, which is open to anybody on this Stand Up to Stammering page, where we just offer support. And we also run a Speak All About It Zoom event as well, which practices public speaking skills. I've been so fortunate to work for an employer who supports me in my speech. So for those who don't know, I work at Sellafield, and myself and a fellow colleague, Paul Martin, along with some other colleagues, we've set up the Nuclear Stammering Network, where we give advice to line managers, HR, support those who suffer with the condition. We hold monthly support groups as well. We also run a monthly support group in the local community for Allerdale and Copeland. At the moment, they are held via Zoom, as we can't be in close proximity to each other. So yeah. So if you ever come across anybody who is stammering, give them time. Give them time to speak. Do not finish their sentence for them. Although I didn't mind it, it's all about individuality. Every stammer is different. Every person's different. So you can't say all rules fit all, because they don't. Some people don't mind you finishing their sentences, but as a general rule, just give them time to speak. Eye contact as well, give them eye contact. Don't look down or don't laugh at them. they have a voice and they have a right to be heard too. Yeah, so if you do know anybody who has a stammer, who either works in the nuclear industry or is in close proximity to West Cumbria, send them my way and we can offer them support. So yeah, that's me raising awareness for Stand Up to Stammering. I've posted my article which I had in the Whitehaven News after my first Starfish course. So yeah, give stammerers a chance to speak, as they have a voice and they have a right to be heard too. Okay guys, thank you very much for listening, and I hope I've raised a little bit awareness about the condition. Bye for now.